Hello, another beautiful day on this side of the ground. Pretty interesting prop today, isn't it? It's sort of a representation of really real life. Now this board here, it's just the beginning, just the start of the game. Look closely at it. One side sometimes has a disadvantage compared to the other side. Okay, so that's what we got. That's what we have. So are we not going to play the game? Are we not going to start the game? Or what really looks like an advantage or looks like a disadvantage, it really could be vice versa. Some people, they really come out of it when their back is against the wall, when they're at a disadvantage. In business, in life, because they don't have these false interpretations or false perception that, I got this army behind me. I got all these people backing me up. I got all this money backing me up. You know what you have from the get-go. So it come down to I'm not in a position for nobody to let me down because I'm all by myself. So whatever I do going forward, whatever I build going forward, whether it succeeds or it fails, it's on me. If I get tripped up, I done trip myself up. Nobody else tripped me up. Because it's just me. So sometime when you think you have everything and you got money, I got a car, I'm living in a nice neighborhood, my parents got money, or I'm rubbing elbows over here, and I could go here, I could go. Well, you could be at a disadvantage because it's almost like a false life. Because everything I just said, that's somebody else's life. I'm just tagging along living. I haven't squared off with the world and say, world, you don't owe me nothing. And nobody else in this world owe me anything. And this is what I have. So let the games begin. As I browse through YouTube a lot, every other commercial, every just other channel almost, everybody want to project this overnight wealth, this overnight look of success. This just, it could happen for you just that way. Don't worry, no work at all. Don't worry, no sacrifice at all. No, don't worry, no commitment to nothing at all. Just flip this magic switch and the light gonna turn on where, I mean, it's just raining money on top of your head. And it's gonna last. It's gonna last forever. And you could go off and live this fantasy world of, cruises and trips and, oh, let's not forget this. I own a home over here. I own a home over in this state. I own a home over here. I got, I mean, all these different things, these status symbols. My car. I got a Rolls Royce. I got a Lamborghini. I got a yacht out there, baby yacht out there somewhere, whatever. And it all looks good, smells good, tastes good in the beginning. But there's some realities that come with that. And that thing that I'm saying that comes with that, it's instantly falling into that without going through life and learning and preparing yourself through trial, error, losses, upset conditions, unexpected setbacks, maneuvering through all these different things. Because it takes all those not so fabulous looking things and to happen, these not so great situations to be in, for you to get the training to be able to handle wealth, to be able to handle money. When you work hard, sacrifice, and you get it. Because they're two different mindsets, whether it's dropping your lap and you haven't done anything for it, or you done worked for it from zero. Totally two different mindsets. So then we have a question of why you want to be rich. Okay, here it is. What are you going to do with it? And it goes back to, let's take for instance, everybody on the internet, so every now and then you just pop up this story, the lottery winners, okay? Oh, the curse of the lottery. The curse of the lottery, well, what about your lack of being prepared because of lack of experiences to handle that type of money? I always tell people, and it's close friends of mine, when we was in it together, and I call in it as not having very much. And I knew way back then, how can you handle $100 million when you can't even handle $100 bill right now? I watch sometimes this perception of, I got some money, that came in. I have a windfall. Now I'm this great philosopher of the world on how to do things. Hell, before you got the windfall, wouldn't nobody even listen to you. your mindset, the circle you was in. What was of interest to you? What did you focus on? So going forward, it's a lot of responsibility having money, having wealth, and the power that goes with it. If you're not prepared for it, if you haven't sacrificed, if you haven't, just been economically challenged where you're back against the wall, you have nobody around you, speaking of finances, nobody around you that ever ran a business. The crowd you're in, you're just great consumers of everybody else's product. How can you say you prepared for it? The life I came from wasn't a bad life. It was very diverse. My dad was a businessman. I knew a lot of business people around town. I worked for them, different things. I knew a lot of, I'm gonna call them smooth operators. So I've been in different positions myself. So what gets me today is there are some fine, I'm talking about some sharp street entrepreneurs. They know the ins and outs of motivating people. They know instantly how to utilize their ability to distribute things. They're great money managers. But sometimes it's just the wrong product. And then now we're getting back to the things I said, well, you never worked for nobody. You never, in order to see how businesses ran, you know what I'm saying? You accumulate money in order to start businesses, but you don't have any skills as far as without having to depend on other people to run the businesses for you. And sometimes that almost always don't end up well. You don't know the ins and out of a business that you financially backing. And I hear people, they save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they putting everything they got on the crap table, as we used to say. You got everything on the crap table. Crap, how that go. You win and then you might freaking just lose it all. You got everything on the crap table, right? And you think you need more. You done went way beyond the risk that's necessary to start your business. And what I mean by that, I don't need $1 million to start a car wash business. I don't need $1 million to start a lawn service business, which these are some typical things everybody want to default to. Say like myself, I did all kind of jobs. Worked in grocery stores from a kid. I worked in a grocery store stocking. when I had an engineering job at Space Systems as a manufacturing engineer. You know, I had too many hours in a day that weren't being utilized in order to go to an 8-10 hour a day job. So to keep myself, grounded and everything, I went and stocked grocery at night. And I saw some people that knew me, and we got a chance to talk. We talking about President of the Honor Society, junior high, high school, great student, magnet school. You know what I'm saying? And then you walk up on me, I'm in a grocery store stocking in the afternoons. Well, let me tell you about journeys like that. I learned about inventory. That's what I learned. I learned about inventory. I'm in somebody else's business and I'm learning the ins and outs of that business. That's why every situation you're ever in, there's something positive there to prepare you for something not even that you can't even foresee in the future that you're gonna need. Today, I utilize that. I utilize that with my inventory. I didn't go to school for business. I developed my own inventory system. I know how to price my goods. I know how to buy my goods. I mimic big retailers. Go by a big retailer every day. Just go by there every day. Maybe 2-3 times a week, you'll see a big tractor trailer truck parked up behind there unloading. That means they buying bulk. They buying quantity. Therefore, they're getting a breakdown in prices. I have an older friend. He a high dollar drywall finisher and painter in gated communities. We talking mansions. I was a little down on my luck trying to find my way. He said, come on, you come work for me. I worked maybe a week, 2 weeks, something like that, maybe. It's been a while ago. But you know what? I got a chance to look around in some fine homes. I got a chance to just see what's possible. So I've had summer jobs where I got to go pick up paper every morning around the projects in the area. It wasn't paying me very much. It was a summer job. I was still in maybe high school. That first job you're able to get where you could go and get a summer job. I was doing that. And, the damnedest thing about that job, we spent all morning cleaning that place up, right? Picking up 4, 5, 6 of us that just pick up just every little thing, right? And every day we come back, it was the same. It was in the same condition. It's as if people just, whatever they finish eating, They just dropped it on the ground. They just, I don't know if, they just, maybe the mindset was, somebody owed me something, rather than the mindset being, this is where I'm at. Let me take care of where I'm at. This is what I call home. Let me take care of my home. This is all I have right now. Let me take care of it. This is my bird in the hand right now. I'm not going to neglect that for a bird in the bush over here. I'm going to do things as I go in that manner. And I'm going to give you another example, and then I'm going to switch. I was young. And when you're young, you just sometimes do some things that you don't stop to think about until you hit that brick wall, right? So here I am. I had my little first nice little car and everything, right? Okay, cool. So had my little, I always made money, like working with my dad, fixing TVs. I was good at it, so I made money. So, here I am. It's a Saturday night. I'm dressed nice, got my clothes on. So it's a concert downtown, right? So, okay. So step by step, okay, everything looking good right now, right? Everything looking good. I'm on point. You done work for what you got. It's Saturday night, your car clean, everything legit. Here I am with money in my pocket. And if I didn't have money, I could go get it. I could ask my parents for it. But, I was always try to be self-sufficient. And a group of people just hanging outside the Assembly Center early before the concert, because that had got to be a thing. You get some person working in the inside that don't know what time it is, and somebody want to ask you a question. It's 50 people standing behind them, and you open the door, and everybody run in for free. Yup. Had my butt right on in there with them, right? So now we in there early. Okay, check, got that done. Smooth operator, looking good, car parked outside, sharp, But I was young, college age, just getting in college. And so go to the bathroom, use the bathroom. Of course, people up in there, they passing around the smoke. We're going to call it that. And I tell you, right about the time I took a toke off of it, here this police came right in the other door, walking in there. Right? Oh, man, it was crazy. So there I go. I'm bailing out the other door, because it's a concert, right? So, the hell. Kind of had one of my own on me, really, So I'm running down these stairs, man. I slid my little thing and did Houdini. It's gone. I'm running down the stairs. Man, I come down. They had these older guys attending the door, stuff like that. Man, I came through there. I remember I came through there like O.J. Simpson, Because one guy, he right there like to catch me. And I do this, it's lined up with doors. I do this little spin like O.J. and them used to do. And I hit the other door and I'm gone. I was doing it. But, you know, I had this red bean dinner, and I also had me a drink of Jack Daniel before I, with a friend, which I don't even like that, but I had some of that, and man, I gave out a run and fell. I tore my pants, and I got caught. Right? So, man, they didn't put me in the back of the police car, and I'm just telling you this part, this just for humor part. Man, I done threw up the red beans and all that in the car. God, the police officer, he said, well, damn you, he, he asked me, damn, what you done ate or something like that, and I'm like, shit, I don't know, nothing or something, I don't know, something crazy, But anyway, took me downtown. They never did lock me up like in a cell or nothing like that. I guess they could see I was a pretty nice, decent fella. Plus, the officer, when he caught me, then, like I said, then everything come back to you. I'm in college now. I could ruin everything. I just started, you know what I'm saying? I got money in my pocket. I got, you think about all the right things you could have been doing anyway. My parents always told me they wasn't coming downtown for no mess, no BS. Now, if you're protecting yourself or something like that, okay, we're going to be there. But some stuff you don't have to be doing, I'm not coming. And you know what? They did not come. One of my uncles, he came. He was one of my uncles that always spent a lot of time with me when I was a kid. My dad be working. He'd take me fishing, hunting, stuff like that. He came and got me out. The officers downtown, they never even searched me or nothing, But they didn't want to transport me to Parish Prison. They was trying to do everything and give me all the time I needed for somebody just to come get me. Because, I don't know, like everything else, people see things in me, And I'm telling you this story because what it led to, that's one of these unfortunate incidents that I got myself in. It's nobody's fault. It's all mine. So I had to go to court. I had to go to court by myself as well, right? So when I went to court, I had to get a public defender. One of the things that was recommended was that I had some options to do certain things. Well, guess what option that I took? I worked at the state capitol for the Black Caucus. I had to go do so many hours volunteer work, wearing a tie, a coat, in the office of the Black Caucus at the state capitol. So it was a nice, really nice lady. And very intelligent people work there. They know the law. They know different things. Well, she put me on a course to study senators and representatives. And that's what I had to do. I had to study senators and representatives. And me, with my fast mind, in my studies, I started seeing trends. Trends of ownership in things. The latest things some of these people acquired that it wasn't even in what they their career was before they became a senators, or how they made their money before that. They expanded on other different things. And I'm gonna stop right there with that. But that was a very good experience that came out of an unfortunate, self-inflicted incident where I learned some things that prepared me for things to come going forward. I got told no for some of the simplest things that I wanted. I didn't think they cost a lot, which made me figure out a way to make it happen if I really wanted to, or realize that if I had to buy it, it really wasn't worth me having anyway. How about that one? To get back on track, having your back against the wall, being poor, you don't have anything, not much. Your parents doing good to feed you and affording you to go to college. You got to work for everything that you have. I think it's one of the fortunate positions that a young person could be placed in, because now you start knowing the value of things. You learn how to take care of everything that you have, because everything you have a story to it on how you acquired it, versus I watched children that was given everything and they treated their toys and everything else like it was just nothing. When I grew up, we may have one toy out that long wish list we'll have. Some oranges, apples, peppermints, some socks from your aunt. That was it. You had a horse. That was your mom old mop or broom that you rolled around in when you was really young. With your cap gun, playing cowboy. It's a lot. I'm pausing because it just bring back so many memories of how I came to be. Ease and leisure, fast. It just never worked for me. After all, it has an end. Fast end. We got this saying, fast horse, he don't run long. Quarter horse, he start out real fast, but he ain't gonna run very long or very far. Versus a thoroughbred. He's groomed. He's groomed for the long run. He's groomed to go the distance. Certain things have been put into place as building blocks to ensure that that thoroughbred could go the distance. It's like, who are you? Why do you want to be rich? What's the purpose beyond self? We think about and wish for all these big status symbols, all these things I want people to look at me and see me, because because of this reason or that reason, whatever the reason is, some kind of thing going on with yourself. By not being prepared, We go. We get some kind of windfall. We want everything in one day. The his and hers, brand new cars in the driveway, uh, the nice home, the gable roofs. We want another place somewhere else. We got 3-4 vacations planned in a year, but and this windfall, what you just got could be just another another job working for somebody else that they gave me a little bit more money than I used to get. But whatever it is, even if that's not the case, it's some things people don't even think about. And I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, when I moved to the area that I live in now, I never owned a home before. I stayed in an apartment for 8 years. And in that 8 years, I started a electronics service business that my dad started. I kept it going. I mean, living in an apartment, I didn't have to mow the lawn. I didn't have to worry about maintenance. I didn't have to worry about property insurance, etc. Cool, good job, saving money. Wasn't buying no new cars, doing everything good. So I finally bought a home because, living where we was living, I pushed that to the limit. It was time to move, time to go on. Outgrowed it, time to go. Well, I walked in the house that I live in now. It was a Saturday. We had looked at a couple of other homes, but I recognized some things about this house that I saw in other businessmen. When I got inside, it was it, The house was built by a vice president of a bank. He was meticulous about everything. He was here. Some of the older neighbors told me he was here every day while they was building it, and it showed. It showed that he was a man that probably had several homes in his life, and you find out what to do, what not to do, and this was the house that he did it. He did it in as far as took all that knowledge and put it here. Okay? So that Saturday evening, and this for me being around people and being allowed to be around people, doing things. You pick up things, you learn things. But that Saturday evening, I called a realtor back and I said, let's start the process on this particular home. Because it has some key things that was important to us. One was having that's behind the house. So that every time I open my garage, it's not an announcement to the neighbor, I'm leaving, I'm going, what's in it, what I'm doing, what I'm working on. You could pass down the street, I could be working on 2 vehicles and you won't even know it. That was something that my wife brought to the table that I hadn't thought about. My thing was closet spaces and a nice kitchen. And this house gave us all of that, plus huge rooms and some other things, being well built. 15 days, and this was the week of Christmas, 15 days I had closed on the house. It was done deal. So we're still in an apartment, got to make the transfer as far as living, apartment to here. And of course you're excited, you want to get busy doing some things. And I get out there to start doing some things. something that I didn't never even thought about, but I had reserved money when I made this move. You know, that was a must. You know, not just this minimum to get in type thing. And I lack a lot of equipment. I didn't even have a lawnmower. I didn't have a chainsaw. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, just a lot of things that I needed on the outside, I didn't even think about. Okay? So you buy a home, and then insurance and everything is rolled into one payment. Okay? So you're not even really paying attention to that until you pay for the house. And now it's not you and the bank paying the insurance, is you pay the insurance every year. So what I'm getting at with this is a lot of times we make purchases too big, too fast, and we don't know the whole deal. When I say the whole deal is, okay, I go out here and I bought me a $500,000, $600,000 house. Okay, maybe even $1 million. And I don't even know what the utility bill is for a month to run that house. I don't even know, and I could buy it cash, okay? Let's say that. Let's say I could buy it cash. I don't even know what the yearly tax is, okay? I don't know what the upkeep is outside. I don't know the price in that. But, you know, you get this big windfall and all you see is these, you know, I want this, I want that, I want that. Okay, I want a Rolls Royce. Okay, go get you one of them. Depending on where you at, where's the nearest place you could take it to be serviced? Right? 4-5 hours away? Did you think about that? Suppose you're in a state where they tax the value of that car every year. Did you think about that? And you got such a big windfall. Now you got 2-3 properties. Did you think about that? The insurance and the taxes? See, I forgot that about where you at, the first one. The insurance and the taxes. Bigger the property, the more you're gonna spend. Okay? So, did you think about that? No, we just, you know, when the big fail happened, we just gonna pass it on to the curse of the lottery, the mystical curse of the lottery. No, it was you not being prepared for what you was asking for, what you was wanting. You see what I'm saying? Or knowing the power of what you had. A lot of responsibility go with money. Trust me. Lots of responsibility. You gotta know what you're doing. You know, people could get hurt, injured. Just a lot of things. A lot of things go with it. Because that's a lot of power. I mean, it's great to have. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll give it a shot. Well, what's going to make you different than anybody else that ever had a shot at it and wasn't prepared to handle what they was, you know, what came before them. So I guess basically what I want to say is a bunch of fundamental things and preparation that need to be in place before you get what you wish for. And to add to your wish that you don't get the windfall before you get these other fundamental, foundational things in place. Because it could destroy you. You know, and this conversation is not about a negative tip or nothing to slow somebody down. Let's look at it like this. Do you want to be a quarter horse or you want to be a thoroughbred? You know, do you want to start off fast and peter out in a quarter mile? Or you want to be a thoroughbred to go the distance, the long distance? I mean, sometimes it's just that simple. A lot of these fundamental things you get from wiser, more experienced people. Whether it's, you know, and it's another thing. Everybody want to get paid for any little thing they do because that's the way of the world, right? In your mind. But you know what? Education has never been free. Whether you're going to college, whether you're going through a trade school, whether it's just some practical experience you get out there, it ain't never been free, okay? And sometime on the front end of things, to get yourself in a position where you can learn from a master, learn different trades or experience, you might have to volunteer your work. You might have to do something just to help somebody and be for free. Instead of, I'm gonna give this analogy of it. Instead of being the fourth batter on the baseball team, you might have to be the water boy. You might have to serve a little while. Learn the ropes. That's just how it is. Everybody think they're, you know, this one of a kind that can just popped up where they could do it their way and go all the way through it. You know, everybody think they some sort of prodigy if you ask them in some sort of way about some sort of things. But then, you know, that's reality. That's the laws of the universe. It's simply, this is just how it is. Take for instance myself. Here's another story. By me working for my dad, which I'm going to laugh about it. It wasn't really forced labor, but sometimes, you know, until you get it, your parents, you know, put their foot down on something you're about to do, okay? So I'm working with my dad. You know, it got to be, you know, I make some money. I could do some things. You know, a little, somewhat independence. And I was going to college. So I had a brother ahead of me in another discipline of engineering. He was there to blaze the trail before me, so to give me an idea of some of the things that was possible and available. I knew about some employment deal, you know, like major companies from around the country. They come on campus, you have to sign up. It's called co-op, where they looking for young engineers, electronics engineers, whatever they discipline they looking for. And I had an interview. I set up an interview, and I had an interview when they came in town. It was Hewlett Packard in Silicon Valley, right? I would say the only edge that I had on other people that interviewed from that job, I had practical experience. Because this particular branch it was their first time where they was developing a printed circuit board manufacturing facility to accommodate high-speed computer logic, like 8 layers of circuitry in one thin board. You know, this kind of way out there, but we talking Silicon Valley, you know, in the early 80s. And I knew things about the board from just working on TVs, radios. I knew about soldering. I knew about traces. I knew about those things. And my grades, I wasn't no 4.0 student. But the things I was good in, I was good in. I knew electronics, and I was pretty good in mechanical as well. So I got the job, right? So me, in my mind, I'm some sort of, like I said, some rare phenomenon that then popped up, some kind of prodigy or something, All in my mind all the time. I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna go somewhere and I'm just gonna put out way more than that people ever seen before. And just one day, somebody gonna walk in and they just gonna give me a check for $50,000. And that's gonna catch up for all the money I'm blowing. Excuse me. That's gonna catch up for all the money where I just been trying to go through things fast and not taking care of what I have money-wise. Because one day I'm going to get here and then I'll get at this point and then all that won't even mean much, you see. Because I'll be making way more money than that than I wasn't paying attention to in the past, what I call small money. Because I'll be making this big money. They just will walk in and I get these big bonuses and things like that. And that's the way I thought. I promise you that's the way I thought. I was just fueling myself going high speed, just, not slowing down to make good solid, I wasn't saving no money. I was just spending it as I go. Because I'm thinking, that'll be behind me, I'll be here. But you know what? That never happened. Never happened because it don't work that way. You got to slow down and take care of things as you go. And I did some good work out there. I increased production by 30%. I learned more than I ever knew about a printed circuit board. Now I knew how to manufacture a printed circuit board, what all it took to do it. And I guess that was preparing me for somewhere else because, that was a co-op job. I did 3 summers. They even let me come back at Christmas time. Anytime I had 2 weeks off for Christmas, I come back. I could come back for a couple of weeks for Christmas. 2, 3, whatever weeks. They pay me money when I get there. They just, I was sharp. I wasn't sharp enough though. My mindset, it wasn't. How can you prepare for the unseen? But you got some fundamental things you can do. Just, I don't know, just don't get excited. Spend some time. Older, more experienced people to catch some of these things you just don't know about. And another good thing that came out of that. This experience introduced me to integrated machinery. All your smart machines now that's integrated with computers. See, I learned all of that stuff. I learned how to write programs. I started out studying, following behind my brother, mechanical engineering. But after that experience there, it's like, okay, I've been working on electronics all my life. So I could just be another out of many mechanical engineers, or I could be one of the best electronics engineers with the experience that I've had all my life in an electronics shop. So I switched over to electronics engineering. And actually it's electronics engineering technology. I switched over to that because that was more hands-on. And that's what I've been doing that all my life. And I was really good at it, at that. And I had mechanical skills, you know, mechanical skills, but the electronics, been doing it all my life from a kid. Elementary school, walking in the shop, you know. So then that experience took me to the next experience. And that experience took me to the next experience. So then on some of the ventures, you know, fast forwarding up to today, those experiences, I learned that I don't need $50,000. I don't need no $1 million to start a business. You know, some people, their concept is build it and it'll come. Mine is let the business grow itself. When the business dictate that I expand, well, I'll expand. And if the business don't, well, I'll just keep working. It takes more than just a business card, a building, and a bankroll to have a successful business. You got to have a top-notch commodity, no matter what that commodity is. People find it. So I learned that. That's why I look at people that jeopardize themselves, jeopardize their freedom, you know, over more money, more money, more money. Everybody want to say they're going to start a business, or I'm going to get in real estate, or, you know, you ain't really got that many experiences to go on. I mean, it's an example. If you just you work with a guy and he just put up hurricane fences, because we had all kind of tradesmen in my area where I grew up at. You know, you had carpenters, mechanics, TV men, tailors, shoe repair guys, carpenters, cement finishers. You had all that stuff. Anything, plumbers, anything. If you went and worked for one of those guys, you know, I'm going to call it serving a master, long enough to know that business, that is a trade that you know the ins and outs of it, where, you know, you could take very little money to start that business, let it build up on its own, and have a great business, because you know the needs. It's things people need all the time, and you know you don't have to jeopardize your freedom or none of that, those type things, or your health. Trying to make $1 million to run a fence business. You let it build up on itself by the quality of work you do. You know, the reputation you build in the community. I have a friend of mine, and he's an older friend of mine, and he'd always say, you're training your biggest competitor. Do you get that? You're training your biggest competitor. That means the guy that worked for you, stay with you for years, eventually he got what it takes to break off. You're older, he's younger, he become your biggest competitor. That's just how things are. He didn't say that like in a negative way. That's the downfall of having people work for you. None of that kind of stuff. It's a welcome thing. It's just how things evolve, how seasons come in, and seasons happen in life. You know, it's just, you get to be his turn. You know, and you welcome him, and you bless what he's doing, you know, and you wish he does well when it's time for him to branch off and do his thing, because that's legitimate, because somebody taught you that trade, you know. And I'm just giving trades as an example, but it could be anything. I mean, you could be working for lawyers, you know. You could be, I mean, working in retail stores. You could, it applies to everything. But it takes time, sacrifice, the shortcuts of just throwing money at something like that, you know, the likelihood of that happening is not very well, because it puts you in a position where you're dependent on other people to do things for you that you have no clue about. No clue about. I just put the money up here. You do it. Just go ahead. I'm moving too fast. I'm making too much money here. Put that over there. You take care of that. Yeah, okay. You take care of that. You come back, you can't find the person, or you find out you're in more debt than necessary because they're working circles around you, because you won't be all fast and, ease and leisure somewhere sitting down at the house or doing this, gone here, and it's going to be on automatic. That's how it look on TV, I mean, that's how I look on TV, how it go. Guy, he at the pool all the time, or on a vacation, and somebody else just running his business. Yeah, possibly in the ground. So I'm going to end this conversation. Hope I gave you something to think about. Have a great day, and we'll talk again. Bye.